Assalamualaikum dear students, hope you are fine by the grace of Almighty Allah. Welcome to NIEVS Home School. I am Sabreena Haque, Assistant Teacher of Science, National English Version School, Day Shift. Dear students, today I am going to take a chemistry class for class 9 student on the based on creative question and its answer, which is belongs to chapter 7. The name of the chapter is chemical reaction. So let us move for our today's topic. Dear students, first creative question of the exercise. Both Oppu and Chetu use natural gas for cooking. Although there are black shades at the bottom of the pan in Oppu's house, there is none of the pan at Chetu's house. First one, what is irreversible reaction? Second one, what is meant by chemical equilibrium? Third one, what types of reaction occur during the cooking in their house? Explain. And in your opinion, in which of the house of the steam gas is wasted during the cooking? Gives reason for your opinion. The answer is first one, when all the reactant of a chemical reaction turns into products, and the reaction is called irreversible reaction. Then come to the answer of B. When the rate of the forward reaction becomes equals to the rate of backward reaction, the chemical reaction comes to a state of stability. This stability is called chemical equilibrium. For example, in a closed container, if hydrogen and iodine vapor is kept in 45 degrees Celsius, they will react and produce 80% of hydrogen iodide, and if the reaction was irreversible, there would be 100% of hydrogen iodide and the solution would be colorless, but there remains the light purple color, which indicates the presence of iodine. It means after occurring the forward reaction for some time, the product hydrogen iodide works as the reactant. That means it is goes to the both side. The reaction is reversible reaction. The hydrogen iodide, when the hydrogen and iodine react with each other, produce hydrogen iodide. Same, the hydrogen iodide break down into hydrogen and iodine. That's why it is the reversible reaction, and this reversible reaction shows the chemical equilibrium. You can give this definition from your book. There is written so nicely. Now come to the next question answer. Next question C was, what type of reaction occurring during the cooking in their house? In the process in which any compound or elements is burned in presence of atmospheric oxygen and convert into oxides of its elements is known as combustion reaction. In the step mentioned above, in both Oppu and Chetu's house, natural gas is used in cooking. The natural gas which is found in our country are also used as fuel is actually methane. In this case, the methane gas is burned in presence of atmospheric oxygen, and thus heat is formed. The reaction is like the following. That means methane, it is gas, react with atmospheric oxygen, produce carbon dioxide, water and energy. Dear students, here energy produce. With the help of this energy, we Oppu's and Chetu's house complete the cooking. If there is enough oxygen, the reaction can render enough heat and no black layer is created under the pot. But if there is not enough oxygen, the partial combustion of fuel creates the carbon monoxide or carbon instead of carbon dioxide, which produce the black layer. That means if we just see in the previous reaction, then methane need 2 mole of oxygen to give the to make the product carbon dioxide and water. But if there is the less carbon dioxide, if we can provide only 1.5 mole of oxygen, and it will produce carbon monoxide, water vapor and energy. And if there is not only that much, also less than 1.5 mole, if we produce only 1 mole of oxygen, that time methane, when methane burn, it produce carbon and water vapor and also energy. In every case we get energy, but the products are different. That means carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide and carbon. But when the carbon monoxide and carbon is produced, that time the black shade on the pan is created. In the above mentioned reaction, methane is burnt in presence of oxygen, and that is why the reaction while the cooking is mainly a combustion reaction. Now come to next question answer. Next question was we have to give our opinion in which the house of the steam gas is wasting during the cooking, and we have to give the reason. According to the steam cooking pot has black layer under it in Opu's house. On the other hand, Shetu's house nothing like this happens. As we know, methane becomes burned in oxygen and forms carbon dioxide and water and heat, and if there is not enough oxygen, the partial combustion of methane happens and carbon monoxide or carbon is formed. This is the reaction that is given also question answer C. On the other hand, if there is enough oxygen, a complete combustion reaction happened, a carbon dioxide is formed which does not create any black layer. That means for complete total methane, that means if we want to get the total feedback from the methane, we have to provide the needed amount of oxygen, and so it can be said that Opu's house fuel misused during the cooking because of the insufficient supply of oxygen. Now come to the question number 2. Dear students, for completing this question you have to first understand this table. Here lead nitrate and potassium iodide react, and this is incomplete. The product will be lead iodide, it is solid precipitate, and produce potassium nitrate. This arrow sign means it precipitate and it accumulates under the or bottom of the jar or container. Here they take 4 container. Container number 1, 2, 3, 4. In the container number 1, first we have to discuss about the elements. In the volume of the lead nitrate is 0.2 molar, and volume of water, here they also mixed up water, and volume of potassium iodide is 0.5 molar, and come to the amount of 0.2 molar lead nitrate in the first container is 1 milliliter, and water in first container 4 milliliter, and 0.5 molar potassium iodide is 1 milliliter in the first container. The total amount in every container is 6. Now come to next one. In the second container 0.2 molar lead nitrate, the amount is 2 ml. In the third container 3 ml. In the fourth container 4 ml. And the water in the second container is 3 ml. Third container 2 ml. And fourth container is 1 ml, and the 0.5 molar potassium iodide in second container 1 ml, third container 1 ml, fourth container 1 ml. Here we have to remember that in every container the number of potassium iodide is same, that means 1 ml, but number of lead nitrate is different and number of water also different, because the reaction is occurring through the lead nitrate and the potassium iodide, so the number of lead nitrate is very important for us here. Now come to first one, what is exothermic reaction. Second one, why are not periodic number and the valency are same thing, discuss. Third one, what is the total amount of potassium iodide used in periods, determines. The last one, which container will contain more yellow solution, that means the precipitation is yellow. What thing is precipitate? The lead iodide. We have to find out the lead iodide where makes more in amount. Come to the answer. The chemical reaction which generates heat is called an exothermic reaction. That means heat production where is happened, that is known as exothermic reaction. The ability by which an atom or radicals combines with another atom of another element is called the valency of that element. For example, in methane the valency of carbon is 4 because it is combined with 4 hydrogen atom. On the other hand, oxidation number is the number of positive electrical charge which positive or negative, or sometimes it be 0, and is created during sharing of electrons with other atom to form a compound or ion. For example, in sodium chloride the oxidation number of sodium is +1 because while forming the bond sodium the atom donates an electron and chlorine received an electron, so valency and oxidation number are not the same. Dear students, here will be positive, negative or 0. Now come to the answer of C. Now we have to what is the total amount of potassium iodide used in the period? We have to calculate it, and here in up top of the table they give the atomic mass of the potassium and the iodine. Potassium's one is 39 and iodine's one is 127. The total amount of potassium iodide in the table is 4 ml. The atomic mass of potassium iodide is 39 plus 27 is 166. In case of 1 mole potassium iodide solution, in that means in 1000 ml 1 molar potassium iodide solution, potassium iodide is 166 grams. So 1 ml of 1 molar potassium iodide solution is the 166 divided by 1000 gram, but here we use in the table there is written 0.5 molar potassium iodide solution we have used. So for 4 ml 0.5 molar potassium iodide solution, after giving doing the calculation we will get the decimal 332 gram of potassium iodide we have used in the period. Now come to answer of D. Which container will contains more yellow solution? According to question, the container number 4 contains the more amount, but first we have to find out because in every container we use only 0.5 molar 1 ml potassium iodide. So how much 0.2 molar lead nitrate can be react with 0.5 molar 1 ml potassium iodide. Here the reaction mentioned in the stem is lead nitrate plus potassium iodide produce the lead iodide, this precipitate, and produce and also produce potassium nitrate. That means here a yellow precipitate of lead iodide is still. And again the reaction of 1 mole lead nitrate react with 2 mole potassium iodide. Here 1 mole of this portion is 1 because there is no number, so it is 1 mole and this is 2 mole. The concentration and the volume of the lead nitrate is S1, that is 0.2 molar, S and P1 that we have to find out, and the concentration and the volume of potassium oxide is S2, that means 0.5 molar, and the P2 that means 1 ml because potassium iodide in every container we use 1 ml, and A is the number of moles that will be potassium iodide is 2, A is the number of mole of potassium iodide, it is 2, and B is the mole or number of lead nitrate, it is 1. And this is the rules of titration. Titration is the formula from or a system through which we can find out the volume of any unrecognized which measurement we don't have from a known measurement of the reactant or product. Now this is the formula A multiply A V1 S1, that will be A V1 S1 equal to B V2 S2, or we have to find out the value of V1. So by cross multiplication, 1 multiplied with V2 S2 divided by 2 multiplied by S1, and after the calculation we will get 1.25. That means 1 ml of potassium, 0.5 molar of potassium iodide can react with 1.25 ml of 2.2 molar lead nitrate. Here S1 is 0.2 molar, S2 is 0.5 molar, V1 is 1 ml, and V2 is required amount of lead nitrate. That means 1 ml of 0.5 molar potassium iodide in every container can react with 1.2 ml of 0.2 molar lead nitrate solution because of the containing 4 ml water and 1 ml 0.2 molar lead nitrate solution in the first container. Total amount of potassium iodide could not take part because it needs 1.25 ml of lead nitrate, but in the first container we provide only 1 ml. Then in the reaction, for this reason the production of the lead iodide would decrease and the solution in the container would be less yellow. And on the other hand, in the second, third and fourth container, more than the required 1.25 ml of 0.2 molar lead nitrate in each container. So the complete potassium iodide reaction will produce the equal amount of yellow precipitate of lead iodide. Excess lead nitrate of different volumes will remains in the different containers. That is since the amount of lead iodide produced in the second, third and fourth container is the same and more than the amount of lead iodide produced in the first container, so the solution of second, third and fourth container will be more yellow than the solution of first container. Now come to the question number 3. Here 1 mole of sodium react with half mole of chlorine produce sodium chloride, and 1 mole of zinc produce 1 mole of sulfur react with 1 mole of sulfuric acid produce zinc sulfate and hydrogen. First question is what is isomerization? Second one is what do you understand by reversible reaction? Third one is determine the oxidation number of sulfur in product substance of second reaction, and the last one is the first reaction of the stem redox occurs simultaneously. Analyze. Dear students, first C number is we have to give the answer on this reaction. Zinc plus zinc react with sulfuric acid produce zinc sulfate and hydrogen gas, and the last one we have to describe on the basis on the first reaction, that sodium react with half mole of chlorine produce sodium chloride. Come to the answer. First one, in a chemical reaction if the atoms are rearranged and one isomer is formed from another isomers, the reaction is called the isomerization reaction. And second question answer is if the reaction advance in both forward and backward direction, it is called the reversible reaction. For example, the production of ester using ethanol and organic acid in presence of inorganic acid is a reversible reaction. Also the just now we have discussed hydrogen plus iodine and produce, this is a reversible reaction. It is produced 2 mole of hydrogen iodide. Now come to next question answer. The product mentioned in the stem is zinc sulfate. When forming the compound, the number of electrons donated while forming the positive ion or the number of electrons accepted while forming the negative ions is called oxidation number of the element. Let the oxidation number sulfur of the compound will be X. Dear students, if we write like this, it will be better. That means zinc oxidation number is +2 plus X and oxygen oxidation number is 2 and there is 4 mole atoms of oxygen, so minus 2 multiplied by 4 minus 8, and total oxidation number of a compound will be 0. And from here we can write or plus x, that means from minus 8 and plus 2, if we subtract, that will be minus 6 will be 0. Then if we take this minus 6 to that side, it will be become plus 6. So the oxidation number of sulfur in this compound is plus 6. Therefore the oxidation number of sulfur in the product compound is plus 6. Now come to the last question answer, that is the first reaction mentioned in the stem is a redox reaction. Red, the initial part of the term reduction, and the initial part of the oxidation is ox, they are combined into redox, which means the oxidation reduction. In redox reaction there occurs an electron transfer in the reaction. A reactant donates an electron and other reactant receive that electron. That means a redox reaction is divided into two parts. One part, the donation of electrons takes place, which is called oxidation half reaction. Another part, in the other half, the other reactant accept the donated electrons, which is called the reduction half reaction. Here sodium plus half mole of chlorine produce sodium chloride. Here sodium is donating an electron as it is a reductant substances, and conversely chlorine is accepting that electron as it is an oxidant substances. So here the oxidation reaction is sodium when it was free metal, that time the oxidation number will be 0. After donating one electron, it becomes sodium cation, that means its oxidation number become 1, and these electrons taken by the chlorine. That reduction reaction occurring here, the chlorine first when it was free gas, that time it was the oxidation number of chlorine was 0, and it takes the electron given off by the sodium, and it becomes chlorine anion, and its oxidation number is -1. In the oxidation reduction reaction, when oxidizing agent receive electrons and reducing agent from the reducing agent, and is reduced at the same time, reducing agent is oxidized by the donating electrons to the oxidizing agent, and that is the oxidation and reduction happens simultaneously. Dear students, this total answer you will get from your textbook. There is written so nicely, you can follow for the answer to your textbook also. Dear students, this is your homework number 8. You have to write CQs 2, C and D, and CQs 3 is D as your homework, and you have to submit these homeworks after your Puja's vacation. Dear students, I have finished my today's topic. Practice the total oxidation reduction reaction more and more, and learn all the important topic and learn the question answers. So thank you. Allah Hafiz.